Good morning, guys. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. Been very good weeks. Thought I would want to go over some stuff with you and getting ready to start my day here in a few hours. It's been good. Just want to kind of go over some stuff with you guys. The big thing and what the topic of the video is going to be is negative paycheck. What happens when you go home? These are things that you got to plan ahead. I went home for Thanksgiving, and again, like I said, you got to plan ahead. I went home planning to come back out the following week with a negative paycheck, but this is probably the longest time that I've ever taken off since I've been doing this OTR and trucking again. Went home for 6 days. With that being said, I went home for 6 days, had a negative $700 paycheck. Oh boy, what do you do about that? Now, guys, this no big secret. I wanted to get into a lease truck ever since I came back to Swift. Had to go through some hoops and hurdles to get to the point to where I'm at. But the whole purpose was for me to show you guys that you can still make money and still go home and take time off. Now, usually I only go home for 2 to 3 days when I've been out a couple weeks. But this time, something was a little bit different. I wanted to be home for Thanksgiving. It's not easy going out, on a Saturday or Sunday, so I just decided to leave on a Monday. Well, actually, I think I left late Sunday night. But anyways, it got me to where I needed to be for Monday. And Christmas is coming up, and Christmas is going to be kind of the same way too. But this time around, I'm only going to try to stay home till Saturday. I'm going to try and get a load out. Hopefully by Saturday. That's where I set my PTA. We'll see how that sets up, but we're going to concentrate on Thanksgiving. Guys, just like I've always told you, you should have no problems, and that's not even a sentence, but you should have no problems whatsoever bringing home $1,800 to $2,500 a week. If you don't bring home at least that, to me, it's just not worth being out here. And if you're not bringing home that, then something's wrong somewhere, whether it's something you're doing, maybe it's the loads you're choosing, maybe the planners aren't giving you loads, and that's always been a hill to me here at Swift, is just dealing with the planners. But somehow or another, I always seem to get through it and make it by. I've talked to several of my drivers that I have brought over, and pretty much everybody's doing pretty decently. There's one guy that's having some issues and situations, and he had to adjust his home terminal. Haven't talked to him in over a week, but I need to get back in touch with him, make sure things are okay with him. But other than him, all of my guys are doing very well. Don't really know why his situation was. We've talked about it, and honestly, I don't think it's anything that he did personally. It's just sometimes it's just, I don't want to say it like that, but it's just the luck of the draw of how your driver leader is, the planning. 19 out of 20 of us all do well, and then you got one person, for whatever reason, gets the raw end of the stick. And I don't know what it is about him, but I think with him switching to the terminal that's closest to his house, I think is going to work out for him. But we'll follow up with that in the future. But back to the negative paycheck settlement. If you plan this out right, I'm trying to get the right lighting. If you plan this out right, you should be okay. So I went home with a negative $700 paycheck. This week, I'm going to be close to that $2,000 mark, and that's with my negative settlement forward, my negative 700. So, in 1 week, I got myself out of the hole. I had another driver that I did not bring aboard, but he was already here. Another one of the recruiters came to me and asked me if I would help the guy because he'd been here almost 2 months and not once got a positive paycheck. Every paycheck that he had was negative. So when I got a hold of him, he was about $4,700 in the hole, which really surprised me that they let him skate that long. Usually they don't usually let you go because there's issues somewhere with him or something. Well, anyway, I helped this guy out, and within 2 weeks, I had him to about a negative $200, just in 2 weeks of, him running the right way. I figured out what his issues were. We corrected those issues. Most of it was due to fueling, the way he fueled and the way he ran. He needed a lot of free time at home, which kind of led to the reason of what I'm getting to. But when I got him to the $200 mark in the following week, he would have been into the positive, into the green. But the guy decided to quit. After all that hard work that we went through, he decided to quit and go about his own way. Not judging any of his decisions, but quite frankly, he probably should have never came into the owner-operator division anyways, because he needed or wanted to go home quite a bit. I knew he had a lot of extra stuff. He had a new girlfriend and, a few things like that. If you're going through situations like that with a new girlfriend or a wife and she's not 100% on board with what you're doing, then the owner-operator thing, or even just trucking in general, excuse me, unless it's a local job or something that brings you home either daily or even weekly, it probably isn't for you. The only thing it's going to do is run your relationship down, and it's going to cause issues and problems between you and your girlfriend / wife or husband, boyfriend, whatever that situation is. And I think, honestly, I think that might be a little bit harder on the female side with a boyfriend than it would be with a guy having to deal with a girlfriend or a wife. Just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I'm not trying to be, sexual on this or different types, but I just think that the women probably have a harder time being away, and the boyfriend having a harder time with the wife or the girlfriend being away. But anyway, that's besides the point. Good weeks. I've got a good week already planned up. I'm on a load right now. As you guys are aware, if you've watched any of the lives, I had a load from Detroit out to Salt Lake that started my week last week. Actually, that was the second load of the week, but that kept me busy through the weekend. Got me a lot of miles. I think I ended up with about 2,300 miles. Yeah, something like that. And that's what brought me my $2,000 paycheck home. Really low on fuel this week. Believe it or not, rolling straight like that and not having a bunch of stops and just keeping it going. I actually, this Kenworth is actually, I was getting 9 to 11 miles to the gallon on the way up, the way over to Salt Lake. And on the way back, I've got 44,000 pounds. And on the way up, I only had like 2,000 pounds. But on the way back, I got 44,000 pounds. I'm still getting in the mid to high 9s with this Kenworth. And that's going through, Wyoming with the winds, the weather, everything that was going on. Fuel mileage is incredible in this truck. I really just, it's way exceeded what I ever thought that it could do. I am very, very easy on the truck. 65 is about where I keep the speed. I don't really drive fast. I don't drive crazy. And that's kind of where my steady drive is. Trying to think of everything else. But by the way, Mellow Yellow is just an absolutely fantastic truck. By the way, my little side companion's asleep over here next to me. I got my 13-year-old puppy that's with me. I say puppy, but he's an old man. But man, he's a good road dog. Very patient. Got him from the Humane Society, but the sheriff's office where we're at. They have their own pound, their own kennel that you can adopt from, and that's what I did. I got me a road dog. But anyway, he's a great animal, potty trained, everything's good to go. Unfortunately, I don't know how long his trip is going to be with me. I'm probably going to be dropping him off in Christmas. I don't think, I don't think the road has been good to him. I think he was abused earlier in his life. Sorry, buddy. He was abused early in his life. I can tell that he's got some skittish moments and stuff, but for the most part, he's a very, very loving little guy. But I'm gonna probably leave him at home one go around. His eating habits hasn't been the greatest when he's been on the truck with me, I think discussed it with the wife and my driver leader. I think I am going to go back to training again. That's probably going to happen in January. I think it'll give me some good content to put out there. I know I've talked about it in the past, went back and forth, but I think that needs to be done. I think I need to do it. At least give it a shot one more time just to see if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, then I'll go back to doing my thing. But I want to run hard. I want to make as much money as I possibly can, and I think doing the training will just put me through the roof when it comes to the dollar amount. I appreciate everybody subscribing. My subscribership, I'm gaining 75 to 100 subscribers a month, which is, to me, is fabulous. I know a lot of bigger YouTubers are probably laughing at that, but to me, my channel has grown very organically, just from guys searching out Swift, or even the owner operator division of Swift, or anything, or even just me. If I see them on the road, they want to know where to subscribe. It happens. I see people at the terminals, or I've actually seen people at the truck stops that have recognized me. And anyway, thanks to everybody that subscribes, watches the lives. It doesn't appear that I put a lot of time into this, but I really do. The lives are very time consuming. As you guys know, sometimes they go on for a couple hours, sometimes even longer. But these pre-recorded videos, for whatever reason, I need to get on the ball with putting out more content for you guys, and I don't know why I don't. I mean, I do know why. It's very complicated when you're driving a truck, and then you get a 10-hour break, and by the time at the end of the day, after you've driven, for 10, 11 hours, whatever the situation is, you're ready to go to bed. I mean, that's what I am. Sometimes I turn the TV on and watch a little something, fall asleep. Sometimes I don't. Like tonight, it's like 3:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, and my clock doesn't start until 4:30. So I said, what the hell, I'll get up and shoot a video. I've been wanting to do it, all weekend anyways. But I kind of veered off the course a little bit. My whole topic was about the negative pay settlements. Guys, when you come over here, it's going to happen. Now, I can brag a little bit. This is only the second time I've ever been in the hole. But just like I said, I planned it. I knew that it was going to happen. I had the money saved up, somewhat anyways, to take care of the situation. And I knew that I could make the money right back, going back out as quickly as I did. And, the holidays, one thing, and I think this is just trucking in general, but especially with Swift, on the holidays, and I don't care what holiday it is, you're better off working your way to the house and spending the holiday at home. I don't care what holiday it is, 4th of July and Labor Day and Memorial Day, all those holidays, you're better off just spending them at the house, because lots of times there really isn't any freight to be moved unless you get into a drop and hook or a long haul that has lots of days on it or something. Chances of you getting a load the following day, like after the holiday, is going to be really, really hard to do, especially if it's like on a weekday, like a Wednesday or Thursday, and the rest of the world takes the Friday off. But guess what? That happens everywhere with shippers and receivers. And if you don't have anybody working at shippers and receivers, guess what? You're not delivering that load, and you're out on the truck spending that time with that holiday anyways. So I've come to realize when the holidays come around, I try to go home and just stay at the house. I mean, if I'm not going to make money, then I'm staying at the house, and I'm going to get myself to the house as much as I can. But the negative settlements, if you do get one, don't fear. Just don't get 2 or 3 in a row. Don't take several weeks off in a row. That's where it can really, unless you got the money saved up, obviously, but that's where stuff can really multiply on you really quickly. But if it's just 1 week, you can get yourself out of the hole pretty quickly. But you got to run, and you gotta pick the right loads, and you got to pretty much run what they give you. And I do that anyways. With me being on dedicated, I don't refuse anything. I mean, I think I've refused 1 load the whole time that I've been over on this account for 2 months, and it was just last week. I just had no desire to go to Denver and do a load with 2 stops in it. That it was literally 600 miles, and it didn't deliver. I'm trying to think. I would have picked it up on a Tuesday, and it didn't deliver on a Friday with 2 stops for 600 miles. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to my business to do that. And I said, let's find something different. And that's when I ended up with this load that taking me from Salt Lake all the way back to Indianapolis. And I'll be in Indianapolis sometime later this evening. to finalize this load. Unfortunately, it's a day longer than what I like. I can't deliver it until after midnight tomorrow night, or actually midnight tonight now, but it'll be there at midnight, because what I'll do is I'll drive the 600 something miles left that I have today to get to Indianapolis, do my 10-hour break, and then start my clock and start off right there at the destination, get the load off, and then my next load is like 60 miles away. Go pick that load up, and then that's taking me back into Michigan, into the auto parts loop, where I'll start all over again. This is going to put me, let's see, I'm trying to think here. This puts me there Saturday. By Saturday, I'll be sitting at about 1900 miles per week already. Just started a fresh clock on this trip, so I still got like 50 something hours left, and when I get to Michigan, I'll still be way into the the low 40s, probably mid to low 40s on the hours for the 70. So I got all weekend to run with no problem. Probably around Monday or Tuesdays when I'll start looking at my hours, wondering if I need to do a reset or do I want to do recaps. And it just depends on what I got going on for the weekend. If I get another load that's long, like down to Texas or Salt Lake again or something like that, then I can probably get a 34 in over the weekend, and then be ready to roll. But we'll see how things go. But the major topic, like I said, was the negative settlements, guys. Shit happens. You go home, you want to spend time with your family. It's important to take that time off. I don't take a whole lot of time off, and it's one of the things that I don't do. And the one thing, me going back into training, I'm going to stay out 4 weeks, train the student, get them on their own, and then I'm going to look very hard at possibly taking a whole week off once I start doing that. And I think that's going to afford me to be able to do that and keep my household bills paid, and also keep the business with the truck lease and insurance and everything paid. As long as I get a decent student, I should be able to do that with no problem. 4 weeks out, 1 week off, 4 weeks out, 1 week off, kind of that type of combination is what I'm going to probably try and do. If not the whole week, at least 4 to 5 days. Like I said, revenue's been awesome. Mellow Yellow's been awesome. The lives have been awesome. I appreciate everybody showing up to the lives. I got 2 lives planned this week. I got the live tonight, going to be with Michelle. I haven't gotten in contact with Steven yet, but Steven was going to be the original person out tonight. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock with Michelle, and then after Michelle, we're going to do Steve. I think that's how that's going to go tonight. So we'll have a live tonight for a couple hours, and the live that you guys really don't want to miss is the one that's coming up on Friday. The live on Friday is going to be comparisons between the 2 load boards. We're going to have the regular standard rate per mile load board, and we're going to have a guy that's running the load board from the percentage. We're going to have the 2 guys. We're going to sit there and we're going to compare loads, and we're going to see if this load board really makes sense. So that's what you guys really need to come and watch on Friday. But please watch the live tonight. The lives with Michelle are always good. For you newcomers that are wanting to be truck drivers, please, by all means, check the live out tonight. Michelle's got a lot of information. There's a lot of promotions going on that I think that she told me about. We'll talk about that. Ask the questions. Steven, he's my health insurance guy. Guys, it's open enrollment. We need to get you some health insurance. Me and my family just got it here recently, and that's how I made connections with Steve. Got a lot of big things planned with him. We got a big show coming up, the big truck show coming up here in March. Guys, that'll be a good opportunity for y'all come to the truck show and come out and walk around, and maybe we can catch up and meet. Not really planning on having a meet and greet, but we can. I'm going there to actually work and try to promote you guys into the company, and also help Steven out with his health insurance business. So you guys need, if you need tickets, by all means, let me know. I do have a registration link where you can get some free tickets. I think it's good till, I don't know, the middle of the month, right? Maybe around Christmas or so, to the end of the month. If you want registration, let me know, and you're gonna have to call me. I don't look at the comments But if you call me, I'll be more than happy to send you the link or text me or something like that. Guys, I just a lot of big things coming up next year. Next year is going to be a big year for me and this company. A lot of big things for Swift. Got a lot of big plans. Hopefully, everything comes into play like I have it worked out. I don't see any reason why it won't, but yeah, things are good. Anybody have any questions? As always, my information will be in the description. My health insurance guy's information's in there. My ES Advantage card information is in there, and you also have Michelle's information there if you want to come to Swift. By all means, tell her that I sent you. My driver code is on there. Be more than happy to help anybody out. Got questions? Call me. You're deciding. Are you going to this company? You're going to that company? Call me. I'll give you the ups and downs. I'll give you the truth about Swift. I've actually talked probably 3 or 4 people this month out of coming here. I had a guy the other day that I talked out of coming here because he had expectations that were higher than what I thought he could make here. I'll give you the truth, guys. I don't stretch it. I tell you what you can make, and I want you to have realistic expectations when you come here. And you can't come here and like the one guy, he wanted to be home every single weekend, and he lived in an undesirable area. And I said, well, I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's going to be something you're going to have to work on. Realistically, I think that would be a very difficult thing. I'm trying to remember where he was way out west, like in Idaho or Wyoming or something like that. And I just told him, I said, I don't know if that's going to be a realistic, opportunity for you. But if you want to give it a shot, I'd be more than happy to help you get to that point. But I told him that, and I think he appreciated what I told him was the truth. And he, like he said, most recruiters don't tell the truth, and they just pull you in. Well, I'm not here just to pull you in. I want you to succeed as much as I want to succeed, because if you don't succeed, then it puts a bad tarnish on me, and I'm just here recruiting guys to make money. Well, that's not my intentions. Not my intentions at all. I don't want to bring people over here just to make money. I want you to succeed, and I want to help you, and I want to do everything I can to get you there. We'll go ahead and cut this video, guys. I know I'm sitting at the 22-minute mark, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I wanted to put some information out there about the negative paycheck settlement. Wanted to give you an update on Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow's doing great, and a little update here on little Freddie. Let me show you Freddie real quick. He's sound asleep, but I don't know if you guys can see Freddie or not, but there's Freddie. Freddie is out like a light. There he is. But anyway, things have been really good. Freddie's an awesome dog. I'm glad I have him. But unfortunately, doing the training thing, I think he's gonna go back to the house for a while until I decide not to train again. But that's it, guys. Any questions, please, like I said, don't hesitate to call me. I'll be more than happy to answer anything. And also, please like, comment, subscribe, all the above, if you would, to these videos. That's what keeps things going. I think I've accomplished everything that I wanted to in this channel, and that's to help you guys out and make the right decisions. So we'll end the video here. Everybody have a good morning and have a good week, a good weekend that's coming up, and we'll talk again soon. Please join the lives tonight. See you later.